Ekomomai, welcome to the Huli He'e Palace. My name is Eddie O. I'm a Big Island radio and television personality and a proud member of Team Rudy Project. I'd like to welcome you here to the USA Triathlon Rudy Project Kona Party. How about a nice round of applause for USA Triathlon and Rudy Project. Before I introduce our guest speaker, I'd like to say that there are only two places outside of Europe that are considered royal grounds. One of them is Iolani Palace on the island of Oahu, and the other is right here where you're standing. Huli He'e Palace is considered royal grounds by the Queen herself, so please respect where you stand. And now it's my honor and pleasure to welcome you, President of USA Triathlon Board of Directors. How about a nice round of applause, everybody, for Barry Siv.
So thank you, everybody. So I was here last year as the MC for the Rudy Project Party, and it was awesome, but not quite as awesome as this. And now, a year later, I was elected President of USA Triathlon. I'm super proud of that. We've got over 700 USA Triathlon athletes here for this race, and we've got some very special professional athletes I'm going to introduce in just a few minutes. But before we get going, I want to introduce the leader of USA Triathlon. Please welcome our CEO, Rob Urbach.
Thanks, Barry. Welcome. So my first time in Kona, I think, is when the Earth started cooling. Anybody, Mike Plant, were you here in 1982? I think probably was. So that was October of 1982. And back then it was clearly a bucket list event to come here. But for me, it's transcended the bucket list. It's really more about the community and the people that we meet and the purpose and meaning of our life. And I'm glad that we're all here to engage and celebrate our great sport, the greatest sport on the planet, probably the greatest event in our sport here in Kona. So welcome, everybody. If you're racing, good luck. If not, you're really part of the community. I think the community is really, again, so monumental to be here every year. It just gets, you feel the essence of the event. It just gets better and better. So welcome, everybody. Enjoy tonight. Enjoy the racing. Enjoy all the people that you meet and all the engagement in our community. So I want to bring up our co-host tonight, which is Mr. Paul Craig from Rudy Project.
In 1998, when I launched Rudy Project in my basement in Denver, along with my partners out in San Clemente, this is kind of the vision that I had, a very mellow evening, people having fun. I wanted to thank USA Triathlon. We're a gold member sponsor of USA Triathlon, and they've been fantastic over the years. I want to thank all of our pros who are amazing. And above all, I want to thank all of our age groupers. Rudy Project has been the #1 helmet worn on the course for the last 3 years. We're hoping to make it a 4-peat. So you guys can help us do that. And thanks to all our engineers who make really cool stuff. I do want to recognize one person on our team who has been traveling for 36 hours to get here, and I begged him to come, and he's the worldwide sales manager, Claudio Fantine. And Claudio, thank you for making the effort, and I'm just going to have you say, you can hear his Italian English.
Do you want me to speak in Italian or in English? Thanks everyone for coming. It's a big honor for me to be here. When Paul asked me several times to come here, I didn't know the energy and atmosphere that is here. I'm very proud to be part of you guys, and I wish to all of you a great race for Saturday. So I will tell you in Italian. Buona fortuna a tutti e spero che otteniate dei grandi risultati. Thanks for coming, and thanks to be also Rudy Project friends and ambassadors.
Mary, take it away.
Thank you, Paul. So, Paul mentioned a 4-peat. Did you say 4-peat? Okay, so I'm going to mention a 2-peat. What a great introduction for Pete Jacobs. Pete Jacobs, can you come up here? Where are you? So I think we're looking for a 2-peat from, come on, this is the world champion. The last time we saw this guy, you were up here. Is that right?
Well, not everyone last time they saw me, but yeah, Wednesday night here, flag ceremony 12 months ago, and and then I passed the crown on.
You did pass that crown on, didn't you? In not such glorious fashion. What happened last year?
It just came in with a bit of an issue that I was ignoring in tightness in an area, and it just flared up on race day. But I ignored it and I learnt my lesson.
And you learned your lesson, but the beginning of this year, typically, I think looking at your history, you've seemed to have a tough early season, and then you come around and nail it on the full moon in October. This year, you've had a relatively tough year. So what do we expect on Saturday?
An earlier interview today said, how do you come into this race seemingly having a bit of confidence after such a terrible year? And I said, well, there's 4 or 5 times I've come here, starting training in August, just starting to feel good then, and I end up having pretty good years, 4 out of the last 5 years here. So, I'm feeling really good again, and going back a bit more relaxed to how I was a few years ago, and not trying to squeeze in as much training and as many efforts in this last week, just taking it more relaxed as I generally do. I am a fairly relaxed trainer and don't train too hard. So, I'm just freshening up. I race best fresh, so I'm making sure I'm fresh on race day, and then anything can happen. And like I say, this is my course. I do well on this course, and I had a few top 10s here. So, I think I can do that again. Just go out there and do what I do well.
You do know this course really well, so it seems like the run is going to be quite fast this year. What's it going to take on the run this year, especially with so many strong cyclists who are going to get out there?
It's going to take a lot of pain tolerance. We're going to have to be able to hurt ourselves really well and not lose pace while you're hurting. And, it's going to be really interesting to see who can... Every year it is a race of attrition. Who can be the last person standing? Last person to slow down wins. And, I'm hoping that can be me this year. And that's where I've really worked on. I've done a lot of sessions this year off the back of a couple of long, hard races in July. And I started training in August on really tired, sore, painful legs. And every run that I did was like, well, this is how the last 10K feels. So... that's how my training has gone, and that's what I've worked towards, the last 10K being able to withstand and, be the last one to slow down.
Well, Pete, I love the theme of to Pete, and I really thank you for being here, because those of you who know anything about Pete Jacobs, last year, being the reigning champion, he was everywhere during race week. This week, I saw him, from 7 a.m. till 9 p.m., and quite frankly, as we talked before this, I think, it takes its toll on you. And you're laying low this year a little bit more, but you came out for Rudy Project, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely come out for Rudy, and it's such a great setting and an easy, relaxed vibe. And, a short little interview with you is not too taxing, Barry. It's all in good fun. So I appreciate being here, and good luck to everybody racing.
Thanks very much. Pete Jacobs, World Champion 2012. Yeah, Pete spent some time in Boulder, and I spent a lot of time in Boulder, and we got to know each other pretty well back then. And speaking of Boulder, and speaking of getting to know somebody well, Eric Olson, will you let MB come up here? Let's welcome Mary Beth Ellis. So, MB, little tiny MB, who I've known since she was even tinier, and a lot younger.
I was younger, that's for sure. I just keep getting older every year. What happened?
I don't know, but MB, from Boulder, has been around the block for a while, raced a lot. 4 years ago, Ironman, when you started Ironman. Talk about that entry into the Ironman world, because you just exploded onto the scene.
It was definitely a trial by fire. My coach back then was Brett Sutton, and his belief is, just start racing Ironman, and you can do as many as you want, back to back to back to back. And Kona in 2011, it was my 4th Ironman, and I think I was really fit, but I was also really tired, so it wasn't the race I was hoping for. And then 2012, I felt like I had a good solid race. I finished 5th, and then last year I fell a month out and broke my collarbone, and came here and gave it a shot, but obviously it wasn't the race I wanted.
Yeah, those of you who, and Mary Beth said, she broke her collarbone last year, was definitely one of the favorites a month out. Do you feel you're a little under the radar this year? A little bit?
Oh, I'm definitely under the radar. It's been nice. No pressure coming in. It's nice. It's kind of been one of those years where some things have gone really well and some things haven't gone well. But at the end of the day, I've learned a ton. And my coach Siri, who's here, has just done an amazing job getting me ready for the race day on Saturday. I think I'm going to hit it in the best shape of the season, and I can't say I've always done that. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't say you've always done that either. But you beat me to the punch because Siri Lindley, who's here. Siri, where can you put your hand up? Come on, we got to cheer for Siri Lindley. This lady. So Siri's got quite a stable going in Boulder. And we followed Siri for years and years. Talk about that training group that you work out with in Boulder.
The training group's just amazing. I couldn't ask for a better group of girls and guys, and every day I have someone to push me, whether it's in the swim, the bike, or the run, and everyone's really supportive too. So if you're having a bad day, you have somebody who's giving you some encouragement, and if you're having a great day, people can chase you all day. So it's been great. It's an amazing group, and I feel really lucky.
Well, I'll tell you what, watch out for Mary Beth Ellis on Saturday. Thank you very, very much for being here, Mary Beth. Appreciate it. MB. So we're going boy, girl, and it's really good. I saw Nikki earlier today driving with the kids. I haven't seen Tyler yet. So where's Tyler Butterfield? Tyler Butterfield. Okay, so I don't even have to say, I can just hand him the mic and he'll talk for as long as I want. How you doing, Tyler? See you, brother.
Good, thanks. Good to see you.
So Tyler Butterfield, not really under the radar. You've had a hell of a year, and you are really fast.
I will take the mic. I haven't had a coffee, though. I would say I'm very much under the radar still. With all the great Rudy athletes that are here, I'm a little embarrassed to actually be up here, especially after people like MB and Pete, who's already got the crown on his head once. But yeah, I mean, everyone here has an affiliation with Rudy, and I think we should be proud that we have such a good helmet. Last year, my first race was with that helmet, was here, and I surprised myself, and I'm still surprised at that result last year. So yeah, I'm embarrassed to be up here, but thank you, and I hope everyone, all the other athletes here, have a great day.
Thanks, Tyler. You're not leaving, though. Hold on. I got to think of a question. I think the best question for Tyler, and those of you who don't know, Nikki Butterfield, who's an equally awesome triathlete, has stepped back for a year or a year and a half, with kids. And what has that meant for you? You've got a great support team. You've got two little darling kids. Talk about the family life a little bit and being a full-time triathlete who's out there 30, 40 hours a week.
Yeah, I mean, the family's everything to me. It's definitely put my life in perspective. I've been racing since I was 19, sort of in the pro rankings in World Cups. From Bermuda, I got starts a little earlier than most people. But yeah, once you have a family, it puts a whole new perspective on it. You still enjoy racing, it's still your passion, but it's also a job. And I'm really fortunate to have my wife, Nikki, who understands the sport. Just before I drove here, she went out and got me some snacks and picked up my bike for me so I didn't have to go out and do all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, I don't have to change as many diapers as her because she's not training as hard. After this race, she's already warned me that the roles are going to switch. But yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, I think triathlon it's a lifestyle sport. And so many of us racing here have a family. And yeah, it's nice to sort of relate to that as I've sort of grown up. But it's put a new meaning on racing.
I appreciate that. I just have one question. When are we going to see Nikki back racing? Because I remember 2 years ago, was it Abu Dhabi that she blew away? Was that the race? No? 2 or 3 years ago. Came back on the scene, professional triathlete, turned professional cyclist, turned professional triathlete, and has taken a back seat now. Are we going to see Nikki return?
She'll be racing in Bahrain, and she'll do 1 or 2 races before then. And I hope she can get back to that form, because then maybe I can take a year off and take care of the family and let her race more. I'll definitely change her bike tires and change more diapers if she wants to put in the slaving away sweat work.
How awesome is that? Tyler Butterfield, thank you very much, Tyler. Great to see you. So, you know, it's all about Tyler on Saturday, but I'm just going to tell you right now, Nikki has been waiting and waiting and waiting. I've run into her recently at a playground in Boulder, and she is biting at the bit for after Saturday, because then it's her year. So watch for Nikki Butterfield, but on Saturday, watch for Tyler. Our last professional athlete, and we do have so many here because Rudy Project is absolutely the #1 sponsor of athletes and the #1 helmet that athletes want to have, particularly this Wing 57, which is amazing. Where's Kelly Williamson? Kelly Williamson, Austin, Texas. So, where are you, Kelly? Hey, you're hi. How are you? Okay, so Kelly's not up here just because we didn't want it to be all Boulder. Right?
Yes, I have to have a little bit of Texas in here.
You are the only Texan. So, and you crushed it in Texas this year, is that right?
I had a good day in Texas, yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit, just so that everybody out here knows why you're standing here amidst all these other female pros, and why you should be looked at for Saturday. Talk about Texas a little bit.
Yeah, Texas was it was an amazing day, I have to say. In the span of, I guess I've been racing as a pro for 12 years now. That was one of those days you kind of dream about, and you don't ever know if you're going to find. You always hope you do, but it was just, everything came together, and it was amazing. I mean, it feels like a hometown race to me, even though I live in Austin, which is about 2.5, 3 hours away from the Woodlands. But, you know, I prepared well, but it wasn't perfect. I definitely had a few not great races going in, but I knew my training was there, and I knew I had this kind of deep belief that I had that in me, but it wasn't until, you know, the last maybe 6 miles of the run where I was like, oh, this is actually going to happen. So it was a pretty emotional day for me.
And what was your time there?
8:54.
8:54 on a tough, hot day. So I think we're going to have a tough, hot day here on Saturday. Talk about your experiences here in Kona and what you expect on Saturday. Hell of a women's field.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. You can literally look at that star list and I can pick 10 people who on paper could win it, hands down. It will be hard, and you know, I've been here 3 times. I've never managed to get above 13th, so 13th and 15th have kind of been stuck. It's a hard race, and I think before I came to Kona, I always thought, oh, it's all hearsay, it can't be that bad, it's just an Ironman, but having done it 3 times, it throws everything at you. So I think, for me, it's much like Texas. I have to kind of focus on my strengths and my race, you know, be aware of what's going on, but you can't control other people, and the bike is not my strength, so that's somewhere where if people get up the road, if things start to get crazy up ahead of me, I have to maintain my composure and focus on what I'm doing, and know that it is a long day, and I think the heat could play into my favor too as well, because I'm used to training in heat in Austin. So it's really just about, like I said, it's going to be a completely different race than Texas, but hopefully the result I can mimic in some way.
One last question. Did you change anything up this year because of your experiences in the past here? Did you come earlier, come later? Did you train differently? What did you do different?
You know, I think the whole year I haven't done many 70.3s. The whole year, I think I started the year and I had kind of a crazy finish in my year. Last year I had surgery and it was kind of a, you know, a few extenuating circumstances. But early in this year I said I want to get to Kona. And so that was the focus. And that's why I did Texas. And when I did Texas, I knew points-wise I was kind of on a bubble. So I went to Coeur d'Alene. So basically the whole year has kind of been an Ironman focus. So that's definitely a change for me. Usually it's 70.3. So hopefully that'll play into my favor. And we got here an extra week early. We've been here 2 weeks, or we will have been here 2 weeks in the race. So yeah, a little bit of tweaks.
And you've been with Rudy Project relatively new, right? Last year, this year, Wing 57, pretty cool.
Yeah, oh, it's awesome. That thing feels so light on your head, and it's airy, and I mean, it's all amazing in Texas. So definitely gonna wear that on Saturday.
Kelly Williamson. Kelly Williamson, good luck. Have a great race. See you, Kelly. Just a couple quick things. There are so many celebrities and important people here, but I've got to recognize two in particular, and then we can go back to relaxing even more. But one of them is relaxing right over there in the chair. Hey, sister, come here. Sister Madonna Booter. You know, when I walk the streets with her, you know, people stop and stop and stop. So I want her to say just, you know, 84 years old, 84 years old, and you're going to crush it on Saturday, aren't you?
Well, I don't know. I may end up being crushed, but I haven't got any body to crush except my own body. So I'm just asking for your prayers, and I'll be praying for all of you out there, because I know it's going to be a long day. Even though some of you could do it quite shortly in comparison, it's still going to have its ups and downs. But it's a concentrated lifestyle, and it's good discipline, and I know that you'll enjoy the effort. God bless.
Sister Madonna Buddha, so I hope all of you will be at that finish line sometime between 10 and midnight. I'll be there, and hopefully maybe Pete will be there, MB or Kelly, or, you know, and maybe Tyler will be putting that wreath around you, that finisher's medal. And our last guest I want to really recognize. This gentleman is in the law enforcement area here in Hawaii, and he's doing something very, very special on Saturday in recognition of the law enforcement people who have served the community and the state of Hawaii. Please welcome Ed Ignacio. Ed, so the state of Hawaii is one of the few states that hasn't recognized its fallen law enforcement officers. Is that right? And you're doing something special on Saturday in that recognition. Can you share that with everyone?
Yes, thank you. Yes, Hawaii is the last and only state in the entire country without a law enforcement memorial for their fallen officers. So this past year, to raise awareness to that and raise donations and you know, get honor to those fallen officers, I've been racing in triathlons throughout the state, wearing 40 pounds of tactical gear. So I wear BDUs, a ballistic vest, helmet, and I've been doing the races. And this Saturday I'll be very honored and privileged to be doing the Ironman, and I'll be wearing my gear during the race.
And if people are interested, is there a way to contribute? You're raising funds for this purpose, right? Talk about that real quick.
Okay. Yeah, so I've been, I have a website on the CrowdRise. It's a social media fundraising website, and it's under the Ironman Foundation. And you can basically go on that website and donate directly, or you can go to the Hawaii Law Enforcement Memorial Foundation.org. It's a registered nonprofit, and you can also donate directly to them there.
And why are you here at a Rudy Project function?
Well, it's a good question. It makes sense to ask that. I've been friends with Paul Craig here for a couple of years, and he found out what I was doing. I kind of caught his eye, and he's been supporting me ever since. You know, Paul brought in also Stephen Arad from Blue Bicycle, and they've been, the two of them have just been like behind the scenes, kind of teaching me how and helping me to grow this project to where it is today. And you know, they were very instrumental in helping me achieve a lot of the goals here and get my word out and spread the word to everyone else.
Wonderful. Ed Ignacio, thank you, Ed. Thank you, Paul Craig. And with that note, I just want to mention, you know, Paul Craig and Rudy Project not only supports many of the people here, but supports causes like what Ed Ignacio is going to be doing on Saturday. So talk to Ed tonight. I just want to thank you on behalf of Rudy Project, and especially also USA Triathlon, for being here. Enjoy yourself. There's probably food left. I hope there's beer left. And have a great time. And everybody who's racing, have a terrific Saturday. Cheers.